Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Tonight's film is 1983's Sweet 16. The tagline on the cover of this is, "What terrors are unleashed when a girl turns sweet 16." 1983. This is the Code Red Blu-ray release, limited edition. You can get it on screenarchives.com. The DVD version of this film is long out of print. Although sometimes Code Red might put it like back in print on their website on DVD, but this Blu-ray is in print. It's just not, it's about $30, so you might have to save up a little bit for it. But the transfer is unbelievable. The sound is kind of weird. It's a little low in times and things like that, but the movie looks beautiful. This is the best this movie has probably ever looked before. This is Sweet 16, Code Red. Get it on screenarchives.com. There you go, right there, little Code Red logo. This movie is really something, folks. This is really something. If we're looking at the early 80s here, especially for horror movies, especially for teen type slasher films, this one in general really stands out to me, and it's something that in 2016 still seems pretty timeless in the mode. Let's go to a couple things here. Let's start off with the music of this film. The music of this film is awesome. The score is dark, it's scary. There's synthesized clashes and sounds. There are times when it's just dissonant and really kind of chaotic and just really scary, creepy, dark, and something that is very unnerving and at the same time very appealing. This is a great score that is meant to scare, meant to bring weird vibes. Some of the score is a little bit weird at times too, and just makes you uncomfortable when the score comes on, and adds a lot to the atmosphere and feel of this film. There's also a song that is for the lead character's name, Melissa, that is actually sung about Melissa. The name of the song is Melissa, and the girl's name is Melissa in the film. And it's really bizarre when she comes on screen and some characters are talking about Melissa, and then all of a sudden the song starts to play. It really just gives a weird exploitation type vibe to the film. In terms of the style of the movie, wow, is there a ton of style in this film. Lots of slow-mo that's really kind of unnerving and weird, especially for the violent sequences in this film, the gory sequences in this film. The style of the shooting and kind of like this slow-mo and then kind of like jump cuts in the slow-mo. It's very stylish and very effective and disturbing in the way that it's done, and also edgy and shocking, and very kind of visually appealing. There's a lot of style there throughout the film. And I was thinking too that this film, I know this is a low budget, kind of horror slasher teen film from 1983. It really doesn't look like that. I mean, the direction is very solid in this film. Even the production is very solid in this film. When we look at environments, the film supposedly takes place in Texas. And regardless, I mean, wow, you have mountains and desert everywhere. It gives you a very isolated vibe to this film, and a unique vibe. If you know some of the horror films like Scalps, or even Death Valley, it just has, horror films don't typically have an Arizona kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? And this film really does have that type of vibe. I mean, you picture the sun, the desert, kind of the isolation of a small town, and just mountains everywhere. These aren't the mountains, it doesn't feel like the mountains of California. It feels like, another isolated type of community, Texas, Arizona, things like that. Really great locations and awesome scenery and shots in this film that add to the film. I thought the acting in this movie was again, 1983. low budget horror. The acting was awesome in this film on all levels. You're going to recognize some faces in this film as well. From other films. I mean, you're going to recognize some faces, so keep your eyes peeled. But the characters were great, and the actors were great. Now, when we talk about this film itself, wow, is this a unique film that is mixing genres? I mean, we definitely have horror, slasher. We also have coming of age teen film. We have a little bit of sexploitation. We almost get into rape territory in a part that gets a really dark and a little bizarre in there. And we also have mystery. And we also kind of have cop drama mystery. If you like those films, like there's a film by Herschel Gordon Lewis, it's one of my favorites, called Gore Gore Girls. And a lot of the film kind of deals with the relationship between kind of detective cop and this girl that likes him. And I always love those movies where, the cop or the detective is constantly he's not easily attainable. You know what I'm saying? Like typically in films, you either have a cop or a detective who's just easily jumping on all the women, or one that all the women so desperately want, but he's just too busy with his cop detective drama. Well, that's exactly, you have that in this film as well too. And you have great characters, great relationships, and of course a lot of red herrings in this film as well. I gotta tell you, the gore and the violence in this film is up pretty darn high. I wasn't expecting it. Really bloody. Lots of stabbing and just blood and gore. There are a couple, whenever there's a death, I mean, you're really getting the stabbing. You're getting it's not like something that they're cutting away. Like I said before, they're mixing also the style of the film in there as well. We have twists in this film as you're figuring out who the killer is and the mystery of it all. We definitely have those twists. And I don't want to say anything, but the end of the movie gave me chills, and it freaked me out in a different kind of way, I guess. I want to talk about. I loved it. I love the ending. It was so freaking awesome. I want to talk about also the beginning of the film, which also further talks about shows the style of the movie. When you first pop this movie in on the menu screen, you're going to hear thunder and lightning, and as the movie begins, you just have this thick, awesome kind of atmosphere, haunted house, horror atmosphere, classic gothic style. One of the characters in the film is reading murder mystery books, and that just further solidifies the cross-genre appeal of this movie, where we have slasher meets teen meets coming of age exploitation meets murder mystery. This is really, really an awesome, unique film in the 80s horror canon. Although I would say this film is timeless, and I really thought it was just awesome. Now, on the sexual front, we actually have full frontal nudity, and we also have a good number of boobs also, and even a bizarre panty shot. That's like head-on Jess Franco style panties, though. Butt shots through underwear and stuff like that. Like I said, there is a sexual, erotic vibe about this film. Coming of age, though, for her sweet 16. She's playing a 15-year-old. And the lead is the one who, does all the nudity, and that is Melissa right there. There she is, as you're looking at the back. But that is the lead. So she supplies a lot of the sexual energy of the film, and she's an attractive girl. And I don't believe I've ever seen her before. Do some research on her. This is this is an awesome, awesome movie. And if you like what you've heard, this is the movie for you. And you definitely want to pick this up because this is limited edition. The DVD's out of print. This will be out of print too. I know it's a numbered limited edition. You can get it at screenarchives.com. Again, this is Sweet 16, 1983. Love this movie. And the cover art right there is actually, how rare is this? The cover art is actually from a scene in the film, even down to the awesome lighting and reflection shots. of the film in many regards. They take a little artistic liberty with some of it as well. But if you like the style of the artwork, it really mimics the style of the film. Which is really, really cool. Sweet 16, 1983, guys. There's a movie that needs to be talked about more. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about movies that I don't believe are being talked about enough. Please feel free to check out my other reviews on here: exploitation, horror, sexploitation / adult. They're all on here. Lots of Jess Franco reviews, and horror as well, slasher, all of it. If it's rare to me, I'm going to talk about it. Folks, also check out my personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. Thank you and good night.